Yeah.
So the ship lifts away from the others, horns blowing, sounding warnings to sailors as they clamber about the deck, arming themselves. They look worriedly down at the sea below them. The dark waters are writhing and churning as thin, warm mist begins to unnaturally form around the boat. Tendrils of vapor begin reaching up the sides of the craft. A sailor swings a sword through it, but nothing. Still, the misty tentacles begin grabbing a hold of the craft, pulling at the rails and rigging, dragging it back in the water. Horns blow again as the water erupts and dozens of creatures burst forth onto the deck. So...
That sounds like foreshadowing.
Matt that we are supposed to be, capturing this boat. We don't want anything's help that we had to deal with later.
It's like, oh, change of plans, guys. We're just going to take the boat up the shore and then get off on land.
That's fine. You guys do you. That's just a little bit of... It is foreshadowing every week of a possible outcome. So,
yeah.
When we last left you guys off, you had made it to the City of Chains with Celet, and you helped his squad out by destroying the hive mind of the cranium rats, which was focused in a large brain-shaped crystal. To do that, Filbert transformed himself into a rat, carrying a bomb inside, transformed into Filbert, lit it, and was then paralyzed mentally by the dozens of cranium rats in that room. You all disguised yourselves as various slaves of the Underdark and were carted onto the boats with the rest of your family and about 100 other random individuals, different races, were packed onto 3 different ships and you set off from the dock. Shortly after setting off, you heard a large explosion. And that's where we're going to pick up tonight. So, Mav, we didn't discuss it, but it probably is important that we get an idea of what did you turn yourself into with your item? Like, are you trying to masquerade as a sailor, or are you trying to masquerade as a drow slave? Because there were a few drows in slave chains being carted in.
No, I believe the intention was just to be another dwarf.
But you can't. The spider one can only turn you into another drow.
You turned yourself into a drow because you were going to hold on to the bag of holding and stuff.
Yes, that's right. So I would be a drow.
Okay.
Just a slave.
All right, you take on the form of another drow slave then. All right. You guys are currently in the deck area of a ship. You are shoulder to shoulder with other individuals down here. They pack you in tight. It looks like to put people comfortably in this vessel, you could at most fit about 50 people. There are about 200 crammed into this hold. So there is very little room to do anything. It is the walls are multi-stacked with benches that people can lie on and squat on and kind of try to get away. But for the most part, you're 20 feet down below the deck of the ship in a hold. What would you guys like to do?
Are there... I want to ask a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
Are there guards on this level or not?
There are not. You are 20 feet down below. You've been chained by your ankles to the other slaves, and all of those chains loop through the wooden fixtures of the ship.
Would a regular talking voice be heard through the next level?
Probably not. There's a lot of murmuring going on down here. There's the creaking of the ship, and you can hear waves splashing against the side. Are we all on the same level? You like slaves?
Yeah, our group.
Yes, I actually rolled for that to see if you guys got divided or not, but you are all on the same boat.
Okay.
Then I'm basically going to either motion or get Matt's attention or call for him. Start taking our stuff out. Get himself freed first, and then free us.
Mav, how would you like to get yourself free? Because you don't have many skills in that regard.
Mav does not have many skills in that regard.
You had said last week
However-
that our feet were chained. Is
Yes.
it just our feet, or is it our arms too?
Your arms are free. Your feet are all chained, and it's
But if he's got the bag of holding, he can like grab like a pry bar or something and just like pop those chains right off the boat themselves. Like he doesn't have to pick them.
If he wasn't a drow.
How far away is Mav from me?
Let me make a roll.
Wait, what does being a drow have to do with that?
The bag of holding is concealed.
Yeah, but you can still pull stuff out from what you have.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like a polymorph. This is an illusion covering
okay.
your form.
Then yes, I'm going to pull out a crowbar.
If you have my tools and you're by me, I can unlock everything without making a noise.
You're not far away from Fanak at all.
He's got everyone's tools at his disposal.
I know what I'm saying is that I can pick the locks without
Hey,
causing a
hey
scene.
Thanik, how far are you going to get to me?
How? What do you mean?
Do the
Well-
chains have any leeway? Can he even move from his spot?
Are we able to get close enough together?
You would have to toss him the bag. But
Oh,
Are we able to in this kind of...
He said our arms are free.
your arms are free. It's only your feet that are all chained.
dude, don't toss that bag.
Don't toss it back. Just pull out my box of tinkering tools
I'll pull out his box of tinkering tools,
and just toss them over.
and I'll toss them over.
Okay. Make a dexterity check to catch these.
Before I do that, I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Well,
You're not catching.
well,
Oh,
if you would like to make a roll for the throw, you certainly can. But I was just going to give you the throw.
Hey, Mike.
Well, if he rolls a good enough throw, maybe that'll help me catch.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think, like, Oathig would, or I feel like as a group we would announce that we're going to get everyone free and we're going to need their help soon.
Okay.
Oh,
Most
jeez.
most of the people on the
That's
boat
happy.
are Kren. There's a handful of Goliaths, goblins, kobolds. You don't see any of them, but there were Drow and Duergar in amongst the slaves. There's also some hobgoblins, tieflings, a few gnomes, even some tricrine, and some deep humans as well. Those guys are all spread out for the most part between the three boats. The only other people you don't see are the Duergar and the Drow. They are all on probably a different vessel.
I'm
could we
gonna,
also mention the fact that we're Granitebacks here to save them?
yeah.
You sure can.
There's one other thing that I'm wondering though.
What's
like,
that?
is there anyone that we would identify that's like not
Friendly?
like yeah, would basically be at odds with us or like look to undermine what we're doing if we release them? Because like my initial thought is I don't care even if people split, but I don't want anyone against us.
There's a lot of dark races down here that definitely could turn against you. Tieflings are always a wild card. You have no idea what to expect from the tricrine, even though you know one pretty well. They're just weird. They're bug people. They're very alien in their thinking.
That sounds racist.
They're weird. There's a couple of hobgoblins down here. There are legitimate goblins and kobolds down here. It's kind of a crapshoot with some of these races. You don't know what they'll do. You can gather they all want to be free, but how they go about that.
So I think we're gonna kind of I don't know what you guys think,
Actually,
but I think maybe get
Point of order.
What?
I would like to use my ring of shifting to shift 5 feet.
Oh yeah, look at that.
All right. So you
And
do
then
that.
I will walk over to Thanik and give
Yeah.
him his tools.
Okay.
That's awesome.
After
Yeah, that's awesome.
maybe pick him up.
All right. So you shift.
Definitely how that's gonna go.
That definitely saves you the terrible throwing that you just did. Although it wasn't too bad, it was just going to be a little messy. You pop out, you head over to Thanak, you give him his tools. As you do that, one of the hobgoblins looks up near you and he says, "Hey, you gonna get us all out of here?"
I would reply that's the plan.
Fantastic. I'm in charge of those goblins and kobolds over there. You let them loose, they'll ruin the day of the Drow upstairs.
Can I hear this?
Yeah, he's speaking in common.
Okay.
And he's right by you guys. There is definitely a desire to get free, and when he says he's in charge of the kobolds and the goblins, they look terrified of him.
Okay. So whether or not he's necessarily in charge of them, they'll definitely...
Probably do what he says.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So I would say that Thanic would start get himself and then Othig out.
Okay.
And then
How were the locks on these chains? Is it one of those where it's like it's a single lock with a chain that wraps through the ground for everybody, or is it like either there's an individual lock for each?
Yeah, is it individual or daisy chain?
There is an individual lock on each manacle.
Okay.
So it looks like they can be closed without having to lock, but they need to be unlocked to open.
Okay. Okay.
are there any windows on the down here?
There are not, but there are 3 deck windows up above. You can see up to the deck above, and it's about 20 feet up.
Oh,
Have we noticed anybody that walks down any guards that are keeping an eye?
You see people moving up there every once in a while, but you don't see anybody necessarily watching.
Do we have a good sense of how far we've been sailing yet?
Not far. You've been gone maybe 15 minutes.
So we're
Do we want to wait for a little while to make sure that we're farther out at sea?
I don't think so.
Not necessarily, because
We don't know the heading of the boat.
Yeah, the assumption that we have right now is that as soon as the temple explodes, Celit is attacking,
Making their attack. Okay,
So the whole city's going to be in chaos.
sure.
So it's not like they're going to stop to come attack us. They're going to stop everything that they are doing to go and attack Celit and his group, not us.
Quite literally, these ships have sailed.
Yeah, yes.
No one's going to care about us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I care.
Hey, Tony. I'm asking Tony since Phil's dead.
Well, we think.
No, we know. He exploded, dude.
It's of high likelihood.
He
that
said
is
goodbye, and then he
Yeah.
exploded.
And then exploded. Hey, Tony, that potion that you gave me that we looted, and it was I have it somewhere in my inventory, but I don't think I have it like labeled actually what it does or the damage or anything like that. Is it? It's like a poison cloud. Is that what it is?
You don't know what it does, but yes. It releases a poison cloud of some kind.
Okay.
Don't do that down here.
Well, here's my question. Since we're moving, do we want to pop up on the deck, throw it in the front of the boat, and then duck down, and have the cloud of poison just sweep through the whole top of the deck?
We could definitely do that.
So let's communicate with the hobgoblin. The hobgoblin.
Okay.
Tell him I'll work on like unshackling us, and then I'll start with the hobgoblin and let him know that I think what we're gonna try to do is maybe one of us, since we're resistant to poison anyways, pop up, throw it down, duck down, get minimal exposure, and then once that cloud just kind of sweeps through the top deck, have the hobgoblin's crew go up and just sweep through them while they're affected.
Okay.
Is there 2 ways down here, or is there just one?
There are 3 deck grates. Actually, I'm just going to expose the upper boat, too, because you guys were loaded into it, so you would have seen it.
Okay.
So my thought is, if we send the hobgoblins up one path, like
That's
from
true.
the back,
Oh, you want to
we
split?
can lay caltrops and ball bearings on the set, a second one, and then we 3 can be on the third one.
Neat.
Do you mean like put ball bearings on the steps?
Yeah, and
So that they-
caltrops.
on the underneath the steps so that they fall on the ball bearings and then
Yes.
fall down the stairs onto the caltrops.
Okay, well, here's the deal with that plan. The only way in or out of this slave hold is through those cargo grates. There are no other stairs and no other doors.
Oh,
You were lowered
okay.
down by cargo elevators from the dock area.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So we have to go up.
Yep. There are stairs on the upper deck, but you don't know where they go.
Okay.
And then there's
But-
obviously a captain's quarters. Yep. Those you have no idea where those go.
Question.
You were taken in through those jobbers.
Okay.
If we go so that we are on this wall, presumably a wooden wall,
Yep, on the inside.
could we start crowbarring the wood to open it up?
It's made from some very heavy planking, but you maybe could.
Yeah, but if we are even first of all, would the three of us at least be able to assess the workmanship of this ship? Is it look strong enough to where that looks like it's going to take a lot of time?
Mav's a woodworker, so he could.
Okay.
And I would say even without a roll, you could make a roll to get an exact time, but you do feel like that would be quite the job.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't.
That thinks it'll be quite the job.
It would be quite the job. Just because the planks are obviously very thick, they might even be interlocked, and they're long.
This is sort of a side point of order, but dwarves get advantage on
That's true.
assessing like
What they're skilled at.
yeah.
So it'd be a 21.
Okay.
You could probably do it with the few tools that you have here, but it'd probably take you about 2 hours.
So let's not do that.
No.
That's kind of what I was expecting. Okay. Is that we're gonna take a while?
So you guys are unlocking each other. I'm assuming you unlocked Othig next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. When you do that, one of the kobolds puts his hand out and asks you for the tools. He says, "Voldy's very good at unlocking things. We should leave the hobgoblin."
He's asking for my tools?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Voldy can help. Give Voldy tools.
Absolutely not. And now, what is he speaking? What language is he speaking?
Common.
Common? In common, I will point to the Graniteback symbol that I've put on my tools.
Yeah.
I'll just point. That's not you.
Yes, I am aware. But does not Graniteback have better things to do? Voldy help free everyone else except the hobgoblin.
Why?
He has killed many of our people. Would be nice to see him locked up for a long time. And there's like a row of goblins behind him just smiling and nodding. He seems pretty genuine.
What do we know? What do we know? What is this guy? Is it a goblin or
It's a kobold.
what is it? Kobold. What do we know? What do we know? Because I personally can't remember, and I don't know if our characters would. But what do we know generally about the alignment of hobgoblins versus kobolds? Like, which one's chaotic, which one's lawful? Are either of them?
Chaotic.
Kobolds are definitely chaotic. Hobgoblins tend to be a little bit more lawful, but kobolds are more chaotic neutral. Hobgoblins are lawful evil. They are cruel, mean buggers. They're severely powerful warlords, and they're really good at fighting. They usually push around and command lesser races like kobolds and goblins in order to kind of force them into their fighting forces.
Coerce.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care what happens to these people. Not even remotely. There's a part of me that is like there's a part of Fanic that is definitely like free them both and let nature just sort themselves out. The less like there's definitely a sense of I don't want these people to be slaves in the Underdark, but I don't care if they're slaves. I totally don't care if they're slaves.
So I kind of figured that one of the reasons I asked those questions before was that we'd free everyone who would basically, kind of follow suit with us, the Kren, obviously, but then, anyone else who, seemed like they would aid us. And then we'll do our thing, and anyone who we decided to leave locked up, I mean, we could always free them after we get to wherever our destination is that we're going to make landfall here. And then, just like you said, let things happen the way that they happen, because we're going to have a force that's basically going to be like, well, are you really going to go up against like these, 50 plus people?
How many ships were there?
Three. And that's the other thing. Like, once we get this one done, we still have to get to the other two somehow.
There's a part of me that's also like, I'm totally fine having this conversation out in the open in front of these guys.
I figured we were.
You don't have much of a choice. There's ears everywhere.
Yeah. The more if we free everybody, we don't need 3 ships. So
yeah, but aren't there other Kren on the other ships?
Yes,
there are. But what I'm saying is that like we don't. All the Kren does not equal 3 ships.
That's pretty
You know
close.
what I mean?
You'd have a hard time getting everybody on 2.
But we still have to get to the other 2 ships to get our Kren off of there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, either way, what I'm thinking is having like freeing everybody, and then everybody is ingratiated to us, and having them help crew the ships.
Sure.
Whereas if we only free some people, then first of all, it's less people that we have to fight for us.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it's if we wait until afterwards to free them,
they're not as gracious.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because here's the thing. All these people are pissed off. Every single one of them. Mm-hmm. None of these people want to be here. So if we give them the option, you know what? Maybe some people jump off the ship, and I'm fine with that. And maybe some people take their aggression out on their captors, and I'm also okay with that.
So you're just thinking all at once here, and the 3 people who are armed. Oh, we got to get Hazani unlocked too.
Yeah, is she with us?
Yeah, she would appreciate that.
Yeah. I assumed when you said we were all together, I assumed she
that
was
had
part
already
of that.
happened. Okay.
Yeah.
4 people who are, pretty well armed, and then everyone else not.
Okay, so
we got some daggers.
You do got some daggers. Do you want to let the kobold unlock people with your tools because he needs
Absolutely
tools to do
not.
it? Then you're going to unlock all 200 people.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
This is going to take you a long time.
Let's start cracking on that wall. We got some time.
If other people want to take like some crowbars and start doing that, but nobody's touching my tools.
All right.
Cool. Crowbar might be a little bit too noisy. I know they couldn't hear like up top, but
all right. So,
around these people, if I lose sight of these tools, I'm not getting them back.
It's a true point.
Yeah.
Maybe. You never.
Here's what I would have to do. Here's what I would have to do. They're my tools.
Oh my gosh.
Did you just call my tools common?
No, I said that's.
Yes, I did. Because I'm assuming they're in your inventory as regular tools.
They're not. They're in my inventory as Graniteback tools.
Okay, that's fine. I can't see your inventory sheet, and I'm not going to argue with you about that.
Let me quick write Graniteback.
let me quick make it so.
There. Anyways, no, but honestly, I would have to walk around the entire ship anyways with these tools to make sure I get them back.
You would,
Like,
but,
legit.
but what if Voldy promised to be good?
All I was trying to say is,
I mean, what would I be doing if not unlocking? Like, I don't.
Wouldn't you
What am I? What else am I?
He just thinks you'd be getting ready to fight.
I'm a Graniteback dwarf. When am I not ready to fight?
I think.
I have been ready to fight since level 1 commoner.
Oh my gosh, this is brutal.
Okay. The military's about to helicopter in again. I can't hear anything.
I think what we would be doing instead is getting ready to toss that poison cloud potion up top, and then being able to flank and sweep through.
Okay.
Yeah. So go do that.
If
and I'll
you weren't busy.
I'm not
But you
busy.
are.
I'm just unlocking everybody.
Okay.
So, while you guys are unlocking everybody, you see Hazani speaking with one of the gnomes. And they're speaking in Gnomish. Does anybody else speak Gnomish?
I do.
Nope.
Okay. He is telling her that if your group saves his people, and he's the only gnome on this boat. His wife and his son are on one of the other boats. If you save them, they can show you a secret. They know where a secret passage through the mountains is back to their village, and you can stay there safe.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Is that on the going back through the way that we came, like that side?
It is on the City of Chains side.
Oh, so not the way we originally came down here.
Correct.
Oh,
Here's kind of what I'm thinking.
I thought well, I don't know. We didn't really decide, like, if we got these boats where we would actually sail to. I thought just go back the way we came, but I don't think that was ever definitive.
It wasn't, but if we free them, regardless of the fact if we use them or not, we have that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, here's kind of what I'm thinking is that we free the 3 boats, we dock off, we bring all the Kren and anybody else who wants to come with us upstairs, whatever you want to call it, back up to upstairs.
Let's go upstairs, guys.
And,
Small hike through the mountains.
and whoever wants to stay can take the boat.
I just remember we talked about it possibly being a bad idea to come up on the City of Chains side, only because since that area was overrun by the forces of the Firstborn, we weren't sure what we were going to run into.
Yeah, we thought about that specifically from the viewpoint of we don't. The only way that we know is the poop caverns or whatever those are. That's like right smack dab in the middle of occupied territory.
Yeah.
This gnome is saying that his village isn't.
Oh, just an isolated place in the mountains that would be of no consequence? Is that what we're understanding?
Is that what I'm understanding, Mike?
It would, to some degree. He says he can get you pretty far into the contested lands. So you're describing to him, if you want to have a conversation with him, you would describe to him the areas that you know that might lead to the Underdark near where you're at. Because you do also, it is believed that the split goes all the way down into the Underdark as well.
So I'm fine with that because I also have faith that the Emperor is leading a charge right through that. So it may be contested, but the Emperor and all of his soldiers and army are tearing a path right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The contested lands are in the Underdark.
Yes.
For clarification for you, Adam. He's not talking about the contested lands topside. He's talking about the actual
so he's got land.
The contested lands.
Yes, his village is in the middle of the contested lands in the Underdark.
In the Underdark. Oh.
So he
okay. That's
he's
not what
talking with Hazani about getting all of your people a good ways into the contested lands.
and then we would be able to go through.
You'd have to find one, but you could find one of the entrances that you know of and head up. And he's got a decent idea of where they might be.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Especially, I have somewhat ulterior motives because we absolutely need to go speak with that nymph. Or the water lady or whatever she was.
Yeah, that would put us a little closer.
We need to. We can't put that off. Like, everybody is telling us how really bad this is. And we're just like, nah, we're fine. Let's go on another excursion somewhere else.
Okay. So, you have a couple of conversations with some of the others as you're letting people free. Do you have any order that you'd like to let people free in particular?
Well, the Kren.
I would... Honestly, I think I would...
Well,
grab
how about this?
Grab
You want it to free everyone anyway, so just have them do the most efficient way possible, which is front to back.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Just
because everyone's going to get freed regardless.
Yeah, but like the more antsy, chaotic people are going to start getting really
Antsy
messy
and chaotic?
if they start seeing that there's some sort of order other than front to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, make three D20 tinkering checks for me, Adam.
Okay.
And Tony, because you're doing the NPCs for me and until matters resolve themselves, I need an attack roll from the hobgoblin towards a kobold. Oh dear.
Jeez.
You let the hobgoblin loose. He's just in order first, and he walks right over to Voldy and breaks his neck. And then looks at the others and says, if anyone else has any bright ideas, they can share his fate.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
What's that one for?
I don't know what his intimidation is, but I'm sure there's a plus on there somewhere.
It's pretty high. They're all nodding and saluting and doing dumb things that
Kobolds do?
Yes, goblins do. So, it takes you do a pretty darn good job getting everybody loose. The DC on the locks is 15. So,
good. Okay, cool.
Takes you less time than you thought. The others get some of the tools out as well, and they start pry barring open some of the locks on a few of the races that nobody really cares a whole lot about. And you release them all. The Goliaths there, they're part of the Nightstorm tribe, and they swear fealty to you if you can rescue them.
Great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They're writing up some contracts, Mav.
There they are.
Mav takes note.
This is where we rebuild. We will rebuild.
This is our new empire.
What did you call him? The
Nightstorm.
Nightstorm. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Pretty legit.
Yep. The short one that you saw before, he says that he will die before he sees harm come to the Granitebacks. And he's half the size of the others, but he's very clearly Goliath, and they're all just like, whatever. And he's like super serious about the whole thing.
Awesome.
So, all right. So you guys are getting ready to. You're all free, and even the kobolds and goblins did a pretty good job of staying quiet through all of this. And you relay the plan to them that you're gonna climb up there and launch this bottle at somebody, and then what?
Attack.
So here's what I think we should do. We don't actually know what's going to come out of this bottle.
I hope it's a genie.
And like, where's fealty the first thing it sees, which is just some drow?
No, it's going to be the kobold.
Yeah. Great.
Kobold's
That's great.
dead.
Yeah. Cobalt's gonna wish to. Anyways, I had a throwback. Was it Connor that became the Santa Claus's? Not
No,
Santa.
that was Alex.
Alex. That's what it was.
Alex and his terrible wish.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, but I think throwing it and then waiting a second to see what happens, because it could be extremely toxic. It could be acid. It could be
could be a fart.
Absolutely nothing.
yeah, or it could be nothing. So like whoever throws it, give it a second, judge what's going on. If
Okay.
it looks like it's extremely caustic or whatever, let it do its job, let it sweep over, and then when everybody's in, trying to recover from that, then, yeah.
Okay. So, who wants to climb up there to make this throw?
I think we should ask should we ask one of the kobolds?
Oh, I'll do it. I'll think I'll do it.
Here's the thing, that the kobolds are like super wiry, so they might like be able to literally just like push it through one of those grates and just chuck it.
Both the kobolds, the goblins, and the gnome all look small enough to actually get through the gapping.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I sort of think we should do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So the kobolds and the goblins, you talk to the hobgoblin about the plan. He likes it. And he looks at him, he's like, which of you will give your lives for the rest of us? And they all just stand there. So he grabs one of the goblins and he just says, you. And the goblin nods. And then they all start to climb up there. And one of them comes back down and says, it's locked. The gates are locked. We could get out, but none of you can. And then you hear him go, don't. And he looks up like missed opportunity, but he's back down.
How is it locked? I suppose it's locked on top.
Yeah.
He really just wants your tools, Adam.
No.
But if he can shove that bottle through, just have him do that first.
Well, but then our attack is stalled.
Then nobody can get out. They can get out, but you can't.
Yeah. Okay, here's how is I'm gonna attempt something really dumb. So we'll see if this works. I will, with my stubby dwarf hands, can I reach through the grate to unlock it?
You probably could, but you'll be dangling from something. So you will be at disadvantage for certain, and the DC will be high.
Yeah.
What if a Goliath was holding him up?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
It's 20 feet from the floor to the ceiling, so even if a Goliath
Can we
is holding
form
you
a pyramid?
Either way, I'm gonna have disadvantage because that's gonna be nonsense.
Yep. Enable nonsense button.
Yeah. So let's do it. So one goblin will come with me.
Okay.
He will stick his hand through it or whatever and chuck it. While the chaos has ensued, I will work some magic and unlock this thing, so that nobody comes and chops my hand off because they're, you know what I mean?
Okay. So you climb up there, and you're getting your tools out, and he like climbs up the pyramid as well.
Yeah.
There it is, dwarf pyramid.
I'm thinking about like those stupid warehouse pictures where like somebody like puts a ladder on a forklift.
Yeah, that's kind of what's going on down here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And like you stick your hand up there and you're feeling around for the lock. So make your first roll at this.
This is at disadvantage.
This is at disadvantage.
We got it. Yeah, we got it.
That's pretty good.
Ish.
You hear it click, and you're like, oh, I almost got it, but then the lock is stuck. There, that's
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yep.
that is exactly what's happening. I love how there's guys just standing on the forklift. They're not driving it or running the lift. They're just standing on it.
Yeah.
Just making sure everything's okay.
Andy,
Yeah.
you told me you weren't going to share that photo for me.
So, you feel like you're going to need a little bit more time with this, and the goblin climbs up onto your shoulder. He's like, I got this. And he climbs up through the grate, and he runs over like onto the deck, and he just starts screaming and whooping and hollering. And the Drow are like, what the heck? You hear them all yelling, and they start to chase him. Tony, make an evasion roll for this goblin for me. And also, if somebody can play the Benny Hill music, here we go. It's been...
I love how Phil is dead, but Tony gets to play all the random NPCs.
Oh, that's
no,
that's really bad.
I would like to say for a goblin, that is really good.
Actually, he's got nimble escape, so he has advantage on this.
Right.
You get the roll again.
That's bad. So here's what happens with those rolls. He's like running around and he drops the bottle, and it's like the scene of Indiana Jones, the Temple of the Doom, where the diamonds getting kicked all over the place, and there are Drow and this goblin scrambling everywhere for it. Some of them are trying to grab him. Some of them are trying to grab the bottle. He gets it, and he crawls in one of the other grates. And they're all like huddled around it, and then he crawls out the other one. And then other goblins go, this is a good idea. So now they're out on the deck. And it's just chaos. Tony, make a roll as he chucks the bottle from one goblin to another. That's terrible.
This is going to be good. Does he have advantage on that?
Not for this. It's a throne roll, so they're pretty dexterous. It's still terrible. I'm going to make a... Oh, that's bad. So he goes to whip it, and you hear him yell, "Go long!" And he throws it, and it hits the mast and detonates. And you hear this just kaboom in the vents. Not the one you're working on, but the vent right below the mast there in the middle just blows inward. And there is screaming and smoke and fire up on the deck above.
Jeez.
And then it's real quiet.
Well, okay.
Did the goblins survive?
No.
Dude, if we lost the mast, we might have just stranded ourselves.
We'll see. Does anybody have mending?
It's not going to be enough for a whole freaking mast.
Should I roll again?
Yes, please. That's good. So you get your tools unjammed, you pop the lock, you open it up, and you climb out onto the deck, and it is completely scorched, and there are just charred bodies everywhere. The mast has definitely been blown off. The front half of the captain's cabin has been completely decimated. It looks like all of the debris has just been blown into this room. And
the front fell off.
The front. No, the front.
Well, the back fell off. The back fell off.
You see two Drow that were in that room just impaled with all sorts of debris laying on the ground.
I guess Phil was wrong. It was not a poison.
Yeah. No.
No, it was an ignite oxygen bomb, otherwise known as a fireball.
Great. Great.
Well,
good times.
On the plus side,
Graniteback, make perception checks for me. Oh, that's very good.
Huh.
Hazani sees... Oh, who else? Nope, just Hazani. I love it. Hazani looks over the rail and you hear, oh, that's both good and bad. And one of the other ships has turned and is headed over your way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Is there anybody left alive up here?
No.
All right.
Well, that's that.
Does this thing have any armaments?
None that you could see.
Okay, well that's good, because I assume that means the other ones, like these ships all look similar, right?
These just look like cargo ships that are made just for cruising back and forth across the ocean.
So we shouldn't if one ship doesn't have armaments, then it's a safe assumption that the rest of them wouldn't either.
It's a good assumption, yeah. I don't know if it's a safe one, but it's a good one.
Safe, but sure, yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Check the box on that one.
All right, well. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's quickly. I'm gonna make sure that everybody below deck stays below deck.
Yep, I was thinking
and
that exact same thing.
Maybe a couple of us
Mav is going to go to the deck
grab some.
to play stupid, like
Yeah,
a sailor that doesn't know what happened.
and grab. Yeah, because you're a drow. Yeah. And maybe a couple of us will try to stay low and grab some weapons and throw them down below.
Okay, there are some scattered weapons on the bodies of the sailors. So when I'm assuming you've already distributed the daggers that you picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you distribute some more weapons.
Can I just say, is it fair that we have put our armor back on?
Oh yeah, you did all that while you were down below.
Okay.
You had plenty of time to do that.
How fast does it look like the ship is coming towards us?
You have minutes.
Okay,
because they're not far apart from one another.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mav is going to grab some of the... Go ahead.
Sorry, this is just an interesting question I just had. Which boat were we, and where... The one's coming back towards us, so I'm guessing there's at least one in front of us. Is the other one in front of it, or is it behind us?
Looking around real quick, you were the center boat. It looks like the other two were a little bit behind and off to either side of you.
All right, so we're going to get flanked.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, we just one-shot this whole boat.
We just one-shot the boat. It just critical hit the boat.
Yeah, so we're fine.
A goblin one-shot this boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
The spirit of Phil.
So, this other boat starts coming close. Andy, what were you going to do?
I'm going to lay in the debris like some of the other bodies.
Okay.
Good one.
Off to the edge of it so that I can kind of come to when they get near.
Do the other three of you want to hide?
If possible, yeah.
There's not
They
a
said they
lot.
wanted to kick some weapons down
here's what
inside
we
and
should
then
do.
hide.
Here's what we should do. Maybe me and Othig. Yeah, Othig and I. Let's go kind of throw some weapons down, and then put some of the like charred bodies on top of us. Like we were staging this, and we died in the assault.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. So, is there anything else you want to do before the ship gets here?
I think that's it.
Phil,
We double-checked if
you had any plans, you could throw them out too.
There was nobody in the captain's quarters or anything like that.
Well, it looks like the captain and the first mate were in there, but they're both long gone. There's one of them's got a plank through the head, and the other caught a beam right through the torso.
I would say that once we are able to secure if the other boat is secure to ours, that those below should work to get to the other boat and capture it.
Yeah, we should probably rush that boat as soon as it they
docks or what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, as soon as they're attached, and some of the soldiers start coming over, then we'll spread like wildfire.
Okay. So
probably want to convey that plan to everyone else as well.
Yeah, I assume that we were to Hazani, who was going to tell the rest of the people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, anything you want to do, T, inside of this plan? Because you can speak for Hazani. All right, cool.
No, I think Hazani's down for what's going on.
All right, cool. So, you guys set up, you hide, and the other boat pulls up alongside the other ship, and they don't see anybody moving on deck. They see bodies everywhere. Mav would hear them talking about what the heck just happened. They're talking about some idiot. It was probably such and such an idiot. He's always been stupid. He's
Filbert.
They're just he's worthless. And they send one of them over as they throw boarding hooks on, and they pull up right alongside of it, and they send one guy over to your ship to check it out.
When Mav hears that, he's going to just kind of roll over and groan.
Okay. So you roll over and groan, and you come out of the debris pile, and there is one Drow sailor who has come onto your boat. And he looks at you, and he says, "Who are you?"
Did I pick up any other names on the boat?
Probably not.
Okay, well, I would just give a name that I heard
Sure.
in the city. And then I would ask what happened.
You exploded. That's what happened.
you personally.
Matt would just explain, like, the last thing he remembered was seeing that dude that was running, that they were talking about, mumbling about something, and then there was an explosion.
He shakes his head, and he's like, "It was Randolph. He's an idiot." And
Matt would just nod, like, yeah.
um,
Our guy's totally an idiot.
Are both ships hooked or just the one?
the one has thrown hooks over and pulled to it, so there wasn't anybody awake on this boat to throw hooks back.
Okay.
So,
but both ships are hooked to us.
yes.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Just one ship is.
Just one ship.
Oh, okay. So the other ship. Okay.
The other ship
Is
looks
the
like
others
it's continuing on.
Oh. Okay. All right. That's good.
It's got a good motor on it too.
Yeah.
Mav would ask if they're able to help secure the boat. It's in pretty bad shape, it looks like.
He says, your pens are open. He's looking around. He's like, is that the goblin body? And he walks over to here, and he's looking at a goblin body. Now let's put Thanok and Othig on here somewhere.
Okay.
Are we waiting for something down below, or were we just waiting for them to dock?
Yes.
The plan was.
I think this is one of those things to where, like, you'll know when it's time.
Well, I thought the trigger on the boat docked.
And none of the lesser races have done anything yet either, so it's fine.
Mav is going to go to the edge of the boat and just see if there's, like, if he can usher for them to send more ropes or people or whatever over.
Okay.
Throw one of your ropes.
Using some of the terminology that the other Drow dude gave us.
Another sailor comes over and asks if you require any medical attention.
And say, no, I don't think I do, but there are others that may.
He's looking around. He sees all the burned bodies. He's like, I don't think so. And so this guy is over here, and he starts to crank the grates closed, and the mechanisms aren't working. And then he calls for more guards because the slave gates are open. And so 2 more guys come across.
Yep, just keep depleting that boat.
Yeah.
This is perfect. That's perfect. I want more people over here before we spring this.
Yeah.
Because that means that it's less people that they have to man that boat or do anything to get away.
Mav is going to come over here with them.
You move yourself,
seeing if he can come over here. He's going to pick up a stick or like parts of the mast, any big chunk he can find, and try to pry it.
Okay.
Look like he's prying it.
All right. These guys kind of walk over to the dwarves and say, "What are these dwarves doing above?" And they're starting to look really suspicious. And I'm going to roll insight check for 3 of them.
Should we just go ahead and attack them?
I was going to say something before, but I didn't think we'd get points, so now I kind of missed my opportunity. I was going to ask Mike if I could, ready to basically stab one that came over me, and now he's already
technically, he's allowed to do that.
Well, you can. I'm still going to let you stab one, because the one standing just north of you realizes you're not dead or burned. Or
great.
And he looks down at you, and he goes to grab a horn off of his belt, and you can make an attack roll. Actually,
Great.
we should roll initiative, but you're
Okay.
going to get surprise.
Okay.
Jeez.
Well, hold on. Let me fix something in the initiative tracker first.
Back the other way. You
Yeah.
need the 4, I need the 3.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
All right, Othig, you are still at the top, so you'll get a surprise round, and then you other two can go, and Hazani can go, and then I have to roll for her, and then they can go again. That's a 10. Actually, she always goes on 10. I keep forgetting I set that rule. So Othig, you are up first in the surprise round. Yeah, you're gonna hit that guy.
Nice.
You just lurch up and stab him, and he screams out, but the others kind of look over just a little bit confused, and they're like, what? Because the other two didn't figure out that they didn't pick up on the clues yet.
Yeah.
And so you hit him, and then all of a sudden you hear all this yelling from below, and it started, and kobolds go, we go bite, and they're climbing up. And yeah, so Hazani climbs up off of her side. Tony, make an attack roll for me. Oh,
Nope.
Terrible.
Oh no.
The spiritual weapon comes out and does nothing.
Aw.
Yeah. Sorry, Hazani. And then that's her bonus action. And for her action, she's going to run over here. Make another one for me, T, as she goes to clobber this guy with her mace. Nope, that ain't going to hit that guy either.
Yeah, I don't know what her bonuses are. So.
That's fine, I do. Mav, you're up.
We're going to troll the dead. Oh, come on. Really?
Jeez.
Fine.
Be that way.
His mind was prepared for the assault.
Yeah.
Did Othig get his second attack?
It's a held action, so he only gets the one.
Oh.
Which is the grate that was like exploded?
The middle one.
The middle one.
The middle one was exploded straight down. The south one was the one that you guys unlocked. So the only
The
one
one
that's
closest to the map.
the only one that's still solid is the one that I have my red arrow pointing towards.
The one by me that I was gonna push him down and I can't. All right.
This is true. You cannot.
I mean, you can throw him down the other one.
So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna use an action, or not an action, but use my movement to stand up,
Okay.
move right here, and I am going to
Feed him to the horde!
make an attempt to suplex him into the abyss.
Yeah, suplex! I love it!
Make a grapple check.
Yes!
Yes! Yes! It's so good!
That's a nat 20, so I'm definitely going to let you do this. You just scoop this guy up. It's like he's looking at you like, that dwarf's dead, and all of a sudden you get up and he's like, what? Huh? And he's just stunned, and his arms go up and put him in just a perfect position for you to leap up a little bit, headlock him, and just get yourself under that arm and just full on, like straight up in the air, WWE suplex him in, and he just, you hear as the back of his head hits the wooden decking right before he goes down into the hole, and you just hear this sickening crunch.
Yes,
and then
that's
his
what I
body
did.
snaps around, and then he just flips over into the ground, and you hear the boat just cheering.
Yeah.
They explode in cheering.
And there's just a perfect arch with the toes up and everything.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
perfect form and everything.
I've been proud of you.
Yeah.
So as soon as
No
this
dwarf has had
starts,
better form in a suplex ever.
several
In armor.
Yeah, in armor, my gosh. What a monster.
several other drow come running across or swinging across the ropes, and they all hit the deck as well. And there's that, and now it is the start of
That's the best gift ever.
That's a good time. The whole room.
So that
full of
was-
pens.
So that was Drow number 3. So he's
Yeah, he's dead.
he's gone.
He is definitely gone.
It's like I threw him into the Sarlacc pit.
Oh,
It's
Yes.
definitely your turn now.
okay. I'm gonna try to fetch that guy. I won't be as good as what Bennett just did, but I'll try my best. Oh my gosh, too funny. Too funny.
It almost did.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean that works.
Oh my
wave through head.
Yep. You're
Yeah.
still laying on the ground, and you just like swing back around and just lop that guy's head off, and he's still got this really shocked look on his face, like I just
What
wanted
happened?
to blow my horn, and now I'm dead.
do I need an action to get up?
It's half your movement to stand up.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up and use my bonus attack on the Drow sailor.
Okay. You still get a second attack.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
You put these guys in squares. There.
Oh.
Oh, that's a critical hit.
Oh.
Well, good old head lopping things at it again.
It's so good. I'll use my other half movement to close in on the Drow captain.
It's
Okay.
just
Don't
like
forget the butt swing.
I'm not getting stand up by Thanak.
For real.
Actually,
Keep up!
it would be there.
Alright, let's see. This is good times. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately, you miss the captain. So, let's see what's going to happen here. They're all going to go, so I'll just move them first. They are going to close in here and here.
I will take my attack on Sailor 6.
As he runs down towards you, sure. go
Yes,
for it.
please.
And you stab him as he comes running in, and you hear him. He's like, "Oh, what the heck? Gosh, what's with this guy, Captain?" And he's like, "Shut up and kill him."
This is a crazy dwarf. It's a bunch of crazy dwarves.
All right, Adam, you're hit with a 22 hits you. I'm assuming, correct?
yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay.
As you're stabbed for 5 points of damage.
Is that? Was that 2 attacks or is that 1?
There were 2 attacks.
Oh no,
One
I get it.
hits you.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. You said con save?
Yes, please. Oh.
Uh,
And it is
I
against
think I'm
poison, so you would have had advantage. You definitely don't need it with another nat 20.
Okay.
You feel a muscle stiffening poison try to affect you, but you shake it off. And then Ryan Othig is going to get swung at, and you're going to get hit. So I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw from you as well.
Got it.
It's at advantage.
Oh, okay. Oh, good thing.
Yep. Same thing. You feel your muscles stiffen up, but then you shake it off. And then the captain comes at you with 3 attacks with his short sword. And he's going to hit you once. Miss you the second time. And then his offhand will hit you. So I'm going to need 2 poison saving throws from you on this.
Okay. Both at advantage?
Yep, because you're resistant to poison. You have
Yeah.
dwarven poison.
Just checking.
Ooh.
Mm.
That first one is not going to be enough, so you're going to take this full damage here. The
Second one is.
So you're going to take 14 points of poison damage.
that is half though, because you're still resistant to.
Yeah, that's true. And then you can only have actually 5 of that. So you can only take 3 points off of that 14.
Oh,
Yep. And the second
Okay.
one
so
is better. you'll take 6 points off the second one, so that one's only going to do 11 points. I already did the math for you.
Okay.
But you are now paralyzed.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, you're unconscious.
I am.
Yep, that's the effect of the drow poison is you are unconscious.
Oh. Okay.
So, Tony, give me a d20 roll for that spiritual weapon. Nope.
Man.
Unfortunately.
Use her action to lesser restoration the poison away.
That was what I was going to do, so I am super good with that. So, Brian, you are on the ground, but you are lesser restoration, so you are no longer unconscious.
Okay.
Mav, but you are prone.
All right.
Mav is going to assist his brother in arms. Fire a guiding bolt. Yes,
Oh
he
my
is.
God.
Guys, tonight
This
with
is
the
a
20s.
this is a good week. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude!
So he takes that like just straight in the throat, and he's just like, oh, and he just kind of staggers back a little bit. He is definitely hurting from that blast
That was good.
for
Yeah.
certain.
Only 3 1s, a 2, and then 5s and 6s.
Yeah, that was pretty great. 38 points of damage on that sucker.
Okay, well, that's all Mav will do. Actually, Mav's going to come up here.
Okay. That's not there anymore.
Is this here?
Yeah, you can get over to that side.
Okay. Mav just wants to kind of look out over the waters to see if anything's coming, like the other boat.
It does not look like the other boat is coming at this moment.
Okay.
We'll just have to chase it down.
Yeah, this area, that area there is all a mess.
All a mess.
Danak, you're up.
Which is the one that hit me with the poison?
They both tried to, but number one was the one that hit you with his short sword.
Okay. Then I am going to. I'm gonna try to toss him in there in the pit as well.
Unreal!
Unreal! Another nat 20. So you like hop across the pit, and you get like right underneath him, and you grab his legs and just flip him over.
I caber tossed him.
And he just flies over, plummets down, and hits the floor. And like people are starting to now crawl up out of the hole, and they're just like, "Don't mess with that guy."
So good. It's so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that
Can't make this crap up.
That
And then with my can I, just because I just did 2 nat 20s in a row, with the rest of my turn, can I just look at Sailor 5 and tell him to jump off?
make an intimidation check.
Oh my gosh.
Can I add my strength to this one?
Yeah, you can flex
All
at
right.
him.
All right. Okay, hold on.
15. He's gonna
15.
roll against that. Okay. He looks really worried. And let's see. It is now Othig's turn.
I'll use half my movement to stand back up.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to put this Drow captain down first.
That's a good idea.
It's a
Yeah.
good idea.
How did you not get... You have
Yeah.
advantage on that,
Because he's laying down.
and
No,
you're not
he's-
attacking him.
Yeah.
You're not
that's
targeting
fine.
him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, so roll another attack roll, see if you get a crit.
Oh, no, just
No,
roll.
neither of
That's all
those two
checked
crits,
up.
so we're good.
So
Alright.
it would have been 7 damage on him,
No.
He didn't.
because you did roll the
Oh,
first
yeah.
attack.
Yeah, I did. I did roll that.
Okay. So
So
now
that
make
was
the
my
rest of your attacks.
First attack. Yep. All right. Darn.
Oh,
Man.
but that'll hit.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay, so he's still standing.
Yeah.
Let's see. And that brings up a Drow. Drow Sailor 5 runs and just jumps off the rigging of the boat, and that's like Sloth from the Goonies, where he's kind of like crab walking through the air. He doesn't even dive gracefully.
He actually threw himself off. That's so
Take your
great.
attack of opportunity there, Thanos.
No, I'm gonna.
Don't
I'm
even
just.
worry about it.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna punish him for doing the right thing.
That's so good. That's what I was thinking.
All right,
That's
so
great.
Sailor 6 has already used his poison, so this is just an attack roll on Othig, and he will miss. And then the captain's going to make his 3 attacks, and the poison on both of his blades is already gone too, so it'll be just the blades, but that is a miss. A miss. Dang. Come on. And a nat 20.
Oh, no.
Oh,
It's only fair.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I got to take some of that off because it rolled the poison. Oh, it's still a lot.
I thought that looked like too much. I
Yeah,
was
it
like,
was-
that's a lot of dice for...
Yeah, it was 3 dice too many. So, 6, 7. You're still gonna take 22 points of damage as he just rams you straight through the side with his short sword.
Okay.
All right, Hazani, make some
What's the
attack
captain
rolls.
say?
Spiritual weapon.
Oh, yeah, spiritual weapon. Will that one hit?
That one will hit the sailor. So go ahead and
Oh,
roll
good.
1d8 plus 3.
Oh,
Nice.
good. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hazani will put one down, and then
Where's the other ship?
it is anchored to that, and there's a bunch of like which one other ship? There's the one tied to
The
you.
one that was
Tony, you're breaking up a whole bunch. I can't hear anything.
sorry, the one that kept going.
It's still going.
Does the captain have a horn on him?
He does. He's a little busy right now, though.
Yeah, there was one guy here that had a horn though, right?
Yeah, most of these guys have small horns on them, from what you can tell.
Yeah. He's dead at my
I
feet.
think Hazani would grab the horn from one of the dead guys and try and call back the other ship.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea.
Make a
Because we heard the horn call that the people let out when we were ransacking the last one to call for assistance or aid.
Mhm.
I think she would try and use that call.
Okay, that's going to be a performance check at
Sure.
disadvantage because I don't think she's skilled in any of that.
Andy, when did you move your camera?
when I stood up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a stand-up desk, so his laptop is still on the desk, but he's standing next to it.
Okay. Hazani puts the horn to her lips and she goes to blow it, and it's like. And she shakes it. How does this thing work? She's shaking it around.
Oh,
Throw it
man.
at Othig. Tell him that he knows how to instrument.
He can instrument good.
Mav, you're up.
Well, Mav is going to fire another guiding bolt.
Do it! Put that fool down.
That's another one.
That's a good one.
So Mav blasts him, and he just tumbles to the ground,
Yeah!
dead. Ugh. As all of the slaves with weapons, several of the hobgoblins and the kobolds are all now up, and they're scurrying across the ropes. They kind of just rush past you guys there as you're cleaning up these drow, and they just swarm the other boat and just start to make a mess of the drow on the other boat. There's about 15 of them over there, still just regular sailors, and they make pretty short work of them.
Okay, so I would tell Othig and Thanik that they should get over to the other boat so that our slaves don't try to take off with our boat.
Yeah, good idea.
Hazani, can you facilitate getting the rest of the people off the boat? And then can I double check the captain and his first mate to see if there's anything important on them? Like possibly keys.
You would find a set of keys on the captain. You would find a spyglass, on him.
Those are expensive.
Those are expensive. Those are very expensive. They're not player's handbook expensive because I find that ridiculous that it costs
ridiculous.
1,000 gold when you can buy the magic item that works better than the spyglass for half of that,
Yeah.
according
Yes.
to the DMG. It's like, this is stupid. But
Yeah.
and guess what? Nobody's gonna break it for you today. Maybe. I don't know for sure.
I still have a chance.
You still have a chance. So you guys are getting everybody off of this ship and onto the other ship. You do some looting. There's some other interesting things that the captain has on. And the first mate just has gear. The captain has some nice looking gear.
We'll just shove it all in the bag of holding.
Yep. So you start looting the place.
Unless it's another bag, in which case that goes separate.
Andy, make a perception check for me at disadvantage because you are in a hurry.
Oh,
16 still real good. You do see a lockbox.
like a big lockbox?
No.
It's a decent sized lockbox. I wouldn't say it's big, but it's probably a foot square.
Would it fit into the bag of holding?
Yeah, you still have a little bit of space in there now that you've taken all the daggers and other small weaponry out.
I'm going to shove it into the bag of holding.
What did we put in there, What did we put in there? No, never mind. That's not this
Torpedo.
group. That's the other group.
That's the other group. The Mark 14 torpedo.
What?
Tell you
Don't
what,
worry about it, Panic. There might be one for sale later.
All right.
So you shove the lockbox in there, and you yell down in the hold. The last few people are over. However, now Hazani, make some more rolls for me, trying to blow this horn.
she threw that at Othig, but I'll keep trying.
No,
Oh, no.
no.
Could you like pull
No.
your own weight? Could you just pull your weight and heal Othig?
Okay, you just rolled 2 nat ones in a row for this. You guys look over at her as she's directing people over. She's still trying to blow this horn, and her tongue is stuck in the aperture.
She's actually got it backwards.
She's
Been hanging out with Phil too long.
Yeah.
she's trying not to let anybody see her, but that's definitely what's going on. This other boat, however, is trying to get away, but the sea around it right now is boiling, from what you can tell. And we're going to stop here for a moment. And we're going to cut back to something that happened about 2 hours ago. Maybe 3 hours at this point. It was some
Filbert.
time ago. Filbert, you can't move. And you're looking at this keg, and the wick is burning down, and all you can think about is how Thanak told you to get out before that went away. And you can't do anything.
Nope, I'm naked and I'm afraid.
I forgot.
And it goes off.
Well, that was quick. Back to you guys.
A player death has never been so funny.
You are paralyzed, so you automatically fail the dexterity saving throw. And you take 50 points of fire damage as this thing blows up and sends you flying across the room.
I'm not dead. I'm unconscious, but I'm not dead.
But you are unconscious?
Yeah, I had already suffered 4 points of damage from a punch to the face.
Oh! Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Are you unconscious and dying, or are you unconscious?
I don't understand the question.
Are you dying? Do you have to make death saving throws? Did you go to 0, or are you at negative?
That puts me at 0.
Oh, perfect. So, Filbert, while you're laying there, you would have thought dying hurt a lot more than this. It did last time.
Right.
And so, you're laying on the ground, and it's softer here than you imagined it would be. And You hear somebody walking up to you while you're laying on the ground, and they're standing behind you. What would you like to do? You feel like you could wake up if you wanted to.
Is this familiar like the dream world that I've been in?
Well, you might have to open your eyes.
I first squeeze them a little tighter. And then I will open them.
You're not buried alive in a building in a city. You're laying in a mushy, swampy field. It's like there's a lot of marsh grass around, but it doesn't feel unpleasant. There's several mushrooms growing up around you, and there is a shadow over you of an individual.
Am I able to make out who it is?
Do you look up at them?
Yeah.
You look up at the individual standing over you, and it's this big black cloak with this white featureless face. There are no eyes, there is no mouth, there are no discernible features on this figure at all, but you somehow know it is smiling at you. And the Lady of Still Hours looks at you and says, "You called, little one?"
Holy crap. Filbert says that.
She smiles more. "You're in a bit of trouble."
I just got blowed up.
Yes.
Where are we?
Currently, you're in two places.
I got blown up that much?
She says, "Well, I've reached out to touch your consciousness, so your soul is here with me. Your body is back in that awful city."
Did it make it?
We're still determining that.
Oh boy. Well, okay. Is there anything I can do?
You called me for help. What would you like me to do for you?
Oh, we really wanted to save our family, and I have no idea if they were successful, but I know that we had a job, and that was to destroy the cranium rats, and I think I did that. Is my family safe?
You watch her eye areas kind of scrunch. For now, but some of those that they're trying to help are getting away.
Can we stop that? Can you stop that? Can I stop that?
We might have to ask someone else for help.
Ooh.
It's someone you're very familiar with.
Is it the fish person?
Is it Tabby?
The fish goddess?
So, cutting back to you guys. You guys are looking over the port of the more functioning, or the stern, the bow. That's the part of the boat. The bow of this more functioning boat at this other boat escaping. You've dislodged the anchors, the grappling lines, and all that from the broken vessel, and you're moving forward, but you're real heavy in the water. You have way too many people on this boat, and it's slow. And it doesn't look like you're going to catch it, but you're watching the mist in the
Turn around. There's a mist, guys.
I know what I know. I fully know what I would have said. I would have liked to have said, "I'd like to give them a hand," and I'll hold up my good hand.
In this place where you're at right now, T, both your hands are normal.
That makes me uncomfortable, so I'll hold them both up.
And she would smile, and she's like, "Yes, we're going to go give them a hand." And you guys watch as tendrils of this mist seem to form into tentacles with hands on the end of them, and it grabs the boat in the rails, and it begins to drag the boat backwards towards your boat. And then, as you get closer to it, you are gaining on it. You watch as maybe 50 steam methods start shooting up from the water around this boat and just start swarming the drow. and attacking them, and they're screaming and trying to hit them, and as they stab at these things, they explode and scald the people on them. And you watch as stepping out of the cabin of this boat is Filbert, but he's young again.
Whoa.
Oh. I brought my boys.
And so you pull up alongside of it, and the Mephits and Filbert are attacking, and they're laughing, and they thank the ambassador for providing them the good time on the Prime that he'd always promised them.
Prime time is the best time. I'd fist bump a couple of.
Make a dexterity saving throw as it pops on you.
Yep.
And then a scared saving throw.
Oh crap!
Nope.
Oh boy! I don't poof.
You don't
I get
poof. He steams
Phil
you.
knew full well what he was doing.
He steams you for 3 points of damage, and you are scalded, but he poofs. And the others all start laughing, and then one by one they just start fading away. And Filbert, in the back of your mind, you hear, "You will owe me for this."
Do I need to have Mav make a contract? I'll just say that out loud into the open.
There's no answer to that. So the steam methods have taken care of all of the drow on this boat, and there is 19-year-old dwarven Filbert, barely able to grow a beard, standing there waving at you with two good hands.
Jeez.
But the question is, does our dad have his hand back?
Probably not. He did that to
Probably
himself.
not.
Fennec and I fixed it.
Yeah.
Improved it.
I was going to say, we didn't. Yes.
So at this point, you guys are convening your two boats. You start to catch back up with Filbert. I don't know what he tells you.
Some
I killed all
cockamamie
the
story.
rats. I
Probably
turned
nothing.
them into snow methods and I made a plague. We're good to
Like, that's how fast Thanik was.
Is there anything else you guys want to do at this point?
Continue the assault.
There are no drow left to assault.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
on
it's all
either
done.
on either ship.
Yeah, because they just wasted all the drow on that ship. So I think we just need to split up so that we can get some of this weight balanced out on the two boats. And
Would the Kren fit on one boat?
It would, but it would
No.
be very, very slow in the water.
Well-
I mean, it would. And honestly, if anything bad happened to that boat, you'd capsize it. It'd be like a refugee ship coming straight out
Okay,
of like
no.
North
I just
Africa.
want to see if it would
Yeah.
be worth separating it out to the people that wanted to go with us and the people that didn't.
Well, if
But
we
we'll-
we can do that.
yeah, I mean, if
One boat's not operational.
They don't need to know that. Filbert has no idea what you mean.
it's
He just
operational.
joins the conversation.
How many?
It's not
There's two
operational.
masts, isn't there?
We're not even.
Or is it
no.
just one mast?
It's just
I
one
think it's-
mast.
Oh,
We're not even by it anymore.
They got some some oars.
yeah, it's a tri-room, isn't it? So, well, I mean, are we gonna stick with going to shore? And
I
then,
think so.
The shore that we came in from. Yeah.
I mean, we'll go a little bit north of the city or whatever, and then, is there a place? Because you had said there was kind of a cliff.
That's right. We're not crossing back over the sea. Sorry, I forgot it. Right.
I mean, we can do whatever, but I was thinking that we would go.
No, you wanted to follow that guy's lead.
The gnome,
to-
yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't we bring the ships all up together?
Yep.
Tell the people our plan. Tell everybody our plan. That we are going to take the Kren back to our homeland, if anybody else wants to join us, they are free to do so.
Or you'll be free once you hit shore.
Or
True.
once we hit shore, they can take the boats and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I
That
would-
is a very important piece of knowledge that we need, though. And Filbert has not truly been paying attention to what you guys are talking about, and he's telling Hazani that she needs to send a message to sell it and find out if they want.
She does have spell slots for that still, so she could.
Okay. I also missed it, but I would run over to Phil and give him a hug.
And do what?
Give him a hug.
He winces because he thinks you're going to punch him again.
That's funny. I had 2 ways to get Filbert out of there. One of them was the one you witnessed, and the other one is if he survived.
Someone punched me.
I think that's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Okay. So
Mav would anybody that wants to come with us. Mav would explain the Kren Empire to anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah.
So if there are any non-human dwarf species that are planning on staying, it might be better for them to consider themselves slaves to the Granitebacks if they're willing.
okay.
Although we treat our slaves well.
Okay.
He would
well,
just explain that.
the 17 Goliaths have already pledged themselves to fight alongside of you till death. The Drow, the handful of Drow, and the handful of Dwergar both say they'll come with you if you kill the other.
Which one of you is more useful?
Neither.
I'm not doing that.
Neither is useful to us. They can go their own way.
Othic's not doing that.
Okay. Then that...
Thanik is debating how he could kill both of them.
Actually, that's kind of how Mav is too. Mav's probably sitting there over with Thanik, like, so what do you think? Do you just start a riot?
Othik would
No.
just laugh, but then he'd
No.
say no.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Well, you guys can fight each other, and whoever wins can come with.
Okay, you say that, and immediately all 13 of the Dwergar grow to twice their size and just start beating the ever-living tar out of the
So here's my question. I don't think I've ever run into a Duergar as a dwarf. Do I hate them?
Yes,
Do I hate them more than Drow because they're perverted dwarves?
probably a little bit.
You're a perverted dwarf.
No, I'm a pure dwarf. No, but like, I mean, Duergar are dwarves that were like all mutated and turned evil. So
No, that's the Darrow. The Dwergar are deep dwarves. They've never come up to the sunlight, and they are more necessarily a brutal and violent race of slavers. The ones that were mutated are the Darrow.
Okay. But either way, I would not look at them as brothers.
No, probably not. No more than the elves would look at Drow as
Yeah.
family.
So I'll pull out a gold coin and say to Mav, like, this is on the Drow surviving.
So the fight goes on.
Mav will pull out a gold coin and say, "Yep, I'll take the Duergar."
All right.
All right, let me roll some.
Othic's gonna take both gold coins and just hang on to them.
Because the Drow cast darkness and then fairy fire on the Dwergar, and
Oh, nice.
it's a
Mav
pretty,
would just say under his breath, "That's cheating."
that's
Yeah.
a pretty even fight. Like a Dwergar becoming the size of a hill giant. It's
terrifying.
Not the same.
Terrifying.
Completely legit.
I mean, like, I always thought, like, what's scarier? Like, just the size, like a dwarf the size of a human, like same proportions.
Completely legit.
Just the same size as human. It's just terrifying.
So, the fight ends and everybody's like standing around, kind of cheering this on. It's as brutal as this is. It's pretty Krenish behavior. You're in the middle of the sea, just rescued from being slaves, and all of a sudden there's an arena fight going on, and the hobgoblins are like, "Dang, that's brutal."
Like These guys are legit.
Well, Mav did just get done explaining how Kren works, so
So the Duergar come out on top, but only by 2. Only 2 of them make it out. Everybody else is dead.
Aww.
Excellent. I can
wow.
add 1 gold to my stash.
Bothing happily hands over.
Happening. And
Mav's
Gilbert
winning.
just stands there scratching his naked chest. He's gonna look at Mav and say, "It's a little chilly. Can I put my clothes on?"
Actually, you'd come out with like the nicest version of the ambassador gear that you've ever seen a Fae wearing.
Oh, I thought that went away when the Mephits did.
No, it'd still be there. You're left with
All
it. You got some real nice Fae fancies on right now.
All
Like-
right, I'll leave those on, but I'm still gonna get my stuff from Mav.
I have a quick question. I literally have 0 gold. I don't know what happened to my money. I had money.
A
I don't know
goblin
what
took
happened.
it.
I
wrong.
didn't touch your money.
I don't believe you.
I'm sitting at 144, so that might be a good number to go with.
You guys did spend a lot in the last few
Yeah.
episodes.
I spent. Yeah, but I didn't buy anything last.
I don't know, man.
We bought gear, and I know we all pitched in for that. And I thought you were low on money.
I was low, but I had some. Like literally, like my gold and silver is empty. It doesn't even say 0. It says it's just empty.
Did you empty your inventory when you gave everything to Mav?
No, because I didn't. No, because I didn't go through that.
Well, you can have
We didn't.
74. I just rolled
All
a
right, that's-
D100, so
That's fine. All right, I'll take it.
Minus
also,
one.
there's-
minus.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was going for. Also, there's 4,000 silver pieces in the thing that I'm just gonna take that
Again.
again.
Gilbert wants the bag back. No, quit taking it. I'm deleting that stuff right now. You don't get to take it anymore.
We've been waiting for you to do it.
Oh my gosh.
They even told you about it.
There. It's gone.
Is that because I took it?
No, it's because I deleted it.
Okay.
So, the hobgoblins are planning on taking the kobolds and the goblins with them and leaving with them. The tieflings, they'll come with back to the surface.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely want to make it clear, like Othig did, that, like it would not be safe for any of the non-human, non-dwarves to be
Free.
free.
It will be once we take over. We can set the laws.
No. I'm fine with slavery. I'm fine with them being slaves. No, but I definitely want to give them the opportunity to stay here,
Mm-hmm.
which is not necessarily a good option. But I want to make sure that they know that once they come with us and they go up to the upstairs, that it's that.
They are welcome to stay with us. They're welcome to leave, but if they leave us, bad things could happen to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just by the nature of.
As far as everybody else is going to be concerned, they are like, we are going to own you, but it's not an issue of, but it is a much different, like, we don't.
Yeah, they get it.
It's yeah.
They were sailors on the surface world, and they
Okay.
want to know if at some point in time, if you just so happened to be near a port in Kren and they just happened to get a ship and just happened to not come back, if that'd be cool.
We'd be fine with that.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Then they will.
In fact, we might even assist you in setting sail for the Graniteback cause without any strings.
Well, there you go. They're down with that. Filbert, you would be very confused by age right now. Because, I mean, you'd seen your reflection plenty of times, and you'd seen your hands and your weatheredness. You'd just be confused at how old you are.
Okay. I don't feel as stiff, I'm guessing.
Nope. No, you don't. You're definitely more limber, more flexible. Hazani is freaked out by what just happened. She doesn't really she's never really figured out what you've been talking about when you talked about you were dead before and came back and been in the Fae 250 years. She's just kind of done that thing that people do with you when you tell them a story. They smile and nod and think you're strange.
And they look at all the mushrooms and go, "Oh, right."
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but you haven't lost anything age-wise from your wisdom or your collected memories. Your physical form has just been, what's the word? Reincarnated?
Am I still a dwarf?
You are still a dwarf.
Okay. Panicked a little.
It wasn't the druid type spell. It was a very special gift from the Fae that controls on the Fae side the cycle of life and death and rebirth.
Gotcha.
So, let's see. The gnomes want to go back to their village, but they'll help you as long as they're with you.
Yeah.
I would offer them one of the ships if they want it once we're done with it.
There's only 3 of them.
I would not offer them one of the ships.
Yeah. Let's see. The deep humans, they're weird. This is your first opportunity to really speak to them. They are strange. They mumble and it sounds like language, but you hear it in your heads, and they have huge, just pale white eyes. They're just very, very strange. But other than that, they look completely human. But they just want to leave and go into the wilderness, and so do the Tricrine.
Okay. They're welcome to.
So, but you have a handful of others that are willing to go with you.
Right on.
All right.
Awesome.
So, Hazani sends a message or sending spell to sell it and gets no response.
He had a first mate, right? Or like a second-hand man?
Yeah, there was a second-hand man.
Okay. So when we were spending time with Sellet, would we have picked up on the fact that he would have been a self-sacrificing individual?
Yeah, definitely. He was a paladin of redemption. So,
okay. I feel like Hazani would have known to not choose him first.
well, she's the NPC, and that's who you told me to send the message to. She can cast it 3 times, though.
Oh,
actually
yeah,
more because 3 times because you guys are now level 6.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Dude, you just
Hey,
epically
fancy.
saved 600 slaves from the hands of
Yeah.
the Drow and
We
helped
did.
destroy the city of Chains. You have done something worthy of song.
And I net 22 suplexes.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Thanak was all pro wrestler on.
If nothing else brought the fame, it was those stories.
Suplexes. Yeah.
It's not going to be anything about the rescuing. It's not going to be anything about the taking over the ships. It's, hey, did you see that guy throw 2 guys backwards into the
Yeah.
pit?
And then the other guy saw him and just ran off into the water.
Dove off into the water. Yep.
The exploits of
Then he had all these
Graniteback.
weapons too, and he didn't even use them.
He uses bare hands like a bear.
He didn't deign to
Yeah.
Are we level 6 right now?
You are level 6 right now. That's why I
Hot
said
dog.
you should get ready to level mid-game. So
Cool.
I know we don't do that normal, but I've kept you off of leveling for 2 weeks since you normally would have earned it.
Hey Mike, did you get my message about the question about that spell?
I don't remember. I've been very, very busy at work.
I assumed. It was the what did I call it? Graniteback Brilliance.
Oh, that I had some issues with. I don't remember what though.
Okay.
You can take it for now, but we're gonna tinker with it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I do remember reading that, and I remember going, I should put a pin in that and think about it and come back to it, and never did.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's an interesting
Concept, yeah.
concept. Yeah.
No, I definitely liked it. We'll play with it. So,
Okay.
let's see what else is going on. So,
Oh, hey, while we're talking about leveling, anything happening with feats?
You guys are level 6, so
So the fighters are going to get feats because that's part of the thing, but the ones we picked at 4,
you should already have those, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we?
Yeah, I thought you
Yeah.
did.
If we,
There was a thing
if-
about it.
Yeah.
you had said you had said that it was like an example of it back when we were in the capital, not the capital, but the dwarven city.
We got our feet, our feet like thing, and then without an ability score, and you got a feat
Oh, I never grabbed my feet then.
Yeah, you should have gotten your feet then.
or the ability score increase.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
something
cool.
like that.
All right, I'll grab it then.
Yep.
Basically, what I remember Mike saying about it was there's going to be times where when I think when just you and I do that, where he's
Yeah.
going to allow us to have our
Class.
feet. Well, no, our feet and an ability score
Oh,
when
well,
we
you
would
and
only
I,
normally get the one.
you
Yeah.
and I, we get at level 6 because we're fighters. It's part of the class.
Right. At level 4, you because I'm making you work for your feats, when you get the feat level, that feat becomes available to you if I feel your character has done enough things to get the feat you want.
Yeah.
But you always get your ability score increase. And then you guys on your 6, your off ones, you get it works normally. So you could get a
Okay.
feat or an ability score increase.
Okay.
The ability score increase you don't have to work for, the feat you do.
Okay. So we got our level 4 feet then.
Yes, you should have. I think
Okay.
everybody should have.
All right, I'm okay with that
Okay.
because I just got a ton of hit points.
Hitch points.
Toughness.
Hitch point. I got toughness and dwarven fortitude, so it bumped me up.
Oh, I love Dwarven Fortitude.
Nice.
It is awesome for a barbarian.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Hazani takes some time to send some messages, some sending. She tries 3 different people in Sellett's crew and can't get through to any of them.
Awesome. They were successful.
Yeah, we'll make the assumption that they.
So as you're sailing back, you turn the boats around, you start sailing back towards the shore. You from even as many miles out as you'd gotten, you're probably about 15 miles out. You can see the city is on fire. The entire city of Chains is on fire.
Jeez.
You don't have any idea what happened, but the place is burning down. And the gnome tells you to make for the northern shore, but try not to. He tells you. I shared the map earlier. To go into the bay and aim for making a landing between the city and the Dwergar outpost because you don't want to get too close to that.
Okay.
So he's telling you to make for over here. Ish in that area. So, Thanak.
Yep.
While you're waiting to make landing, you're sitting there and you're talking to somebody, and you're being fairly self-aware because you're a little panicked.
I'm a little panic.
You're a little panicked.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there is a kobold standing next to you pulling on your pinky.
On my pinky.
Yep.
All right, I will look over.
He's not there anymore. Like, he pulls on your pinky and you glance and you see him standing there, and then you look over and he's gone, but you're holding a note.
Real quick, I'm gonna look for my tinker tools.
You still have them.
Okay, good. Then I'll open the note.
Jeez.
You open the note, and it is a very crude drawing of a goblin and a kobold looking very sad, standing next to a larger figure with big teeth and horns, and then there's another picture of that big thing with a sword in its face, stuck in its face. And then
All right.
the goblin and the kobold are very happy.
That's some very good art. Is it made of macaroni?
No, it's terrible art, but it's good enough for everybody to get the gist of that the kobolds and the goblins would really like you to kill the hobgoblins.
Where is all the hobgoblins or just the one?
There are 6 of them.
I mean, I'm okay with killing the hobgoblins.
Here's what I'll do. I will walk over to the.
What will you do?
I'll walk over to. I'll have. Have we rested yet?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Can somebody heal Othig real quick?
Someone will heal Othig real quick.
Okay.
Hizani's
thank
on
you.
it.
All right. Thank you. And then can I have a healed Othig come over with me?
Sure. I think you can have 21 hit points back.
Yay!
I'll just.
Plus another 9.
I will have
Yay.
Othig. I'm not going to tell him what's going on, but I'll just wave Othig over to me, and I'll go over to the hobgoblins, and I will respectfully thank them for their service, for helping us out, and tell them that they can go their own way. They can do what they want. They can go wherever they want. The goblins are coming with us.
Okay. They sit back and they look at you, and they say that'd be a very bad idea. All right, I see by your silence that you agree with us. We'll keep the kobolds and the halflings.
Where are they? Where are the kobolds and the goblins? Where are they? Can they see
They're
us?
kind of all in the area. Yeah, they can see you.
I'll turn around and tell the goblins and the kobolds to come with us, and just walk away from them.
I'm gonna keep eyes locked on him.
Oh no!
And while this happens, I'm gonna use my brand new spell.
What's it do?
I'm gonna cast it on Othig. And Othig, there's no like way that Fantasy Grounds will like work with this that I can think of.
I'm withholding an action to attack if it comes to that.
That's totally fine. But I'm just letting you know the spell effects, and you can maybe you and Andy can figure out how to make this work if there's a way. But what the spell does, it's called Graniteback Brilliance. And what it does.
Oh my gosh!
For the next minute, anything that I see you do, any D20 you get advantage on.
For a minute?
For a minute. Until you roll a natural 20 and then the brilliance is expended.
That's why I think it's a little overpowered.
Oh my
as
god!
long as I see you. What?
He only gets 1 natural 20.
Yeah, 1 natural 20 and then it's all gone. It's basically like a really powerful true what is that stupid cantrip? True strike. That's terrible.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it, but I get where you're going
That's
with this.
fine.
So, Othig, you got advantage for right now on some stuff that you're doing. So,
Well, then I'm gonna roll intimidation.
by all means,
I mean, I'd offer to give you advantage on that.
Not necessary. Oh jeez. Wow.
So you guys start flexing on the hobgoblins, and they snarl, and they're like, and they just the big one, the one that you were talking with that you unlocked down below, who broke. But that I deleted him already. I don't even remember his name anymore. Poor little guy. Voldo. Broke his neck.
You didn't kill him. You deleted him.
I did. I deleted him. He just says, you're going to regret this. Do what you want. And they walk away. And the kobolds and the goblins start skipping and cheering, and they're like, They're like all the little children at the end of Temple of Doom. Oh, it's my second Temple of Doom reference tonight. That are just crowding around you, just like, yay! Pick me up!
Yeah.
I'm free.
Yeah.
So you guys make landfall. Not too much longer after that. Most everybody gets off the boat except the hobgoblins. They decide to stay on the boat.
That's a good plan. Did we loot the other captains as well?
Yeah.
You had said that they wait. Which other captains are you talking about?
The one on this boat.
Yeah, there's captain loot to be distributed. They didn't have anything magical on them, so it's monetary loot.
Guys, we got 3 spyglasses. That's like half a kingdom.
That is.
It's 300 gold.
We will rebuild.
It's not the 3,000 gold that the player's handbook would have you believe.
Guys, we just got all the money that we lost.
Yeah.
Mostly.
We can buy the Red Rock Keep.
I'll trade you this one spyglass for all of your land.
So powerful.
We totally skipped over this. In one of the boats would have been Dal and Fizz and Racky and Gravel.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, because we saw them on the way in.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're totally there.
That's true. Yeah, they are totally there. Sweet.
So
And they actually. Well, would they have their equipment?
no, they would not have their equipment.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had their.
They have none of their equipment. So you guys gear up the more fighting capable Kren at this moment. Racky's still in pretty bad shape. You feel like he's maybe got a broken rib that's screwing with his lung. So Hazani does some work on him as well.
I would say that we pull anybody, the worst of the group, out of all the people, within 30 feet of me. I'll cast Beacon of Hope, and then Hazani and I can help heal a couple.
Okay. Yeah, with Beacon of Hope out, you can pass out a lot of lower level healing and get a lot of good stuff out of that. You heal some people up, but what's more going to be the problem right now is eats.
Yeah.
It's food. But there was some decent stores on the boat, so you guys pack all that stuff up. About not even a third of the group, probably about 50 of them are now armed. At various states. Racky, being the monk, doesn't need weapons. But he's still beat up pretty bad. He has a long-term wound until he can get something like a greater restoration cast on him. So he's not doing great. But the others, they gear up. Everybody eats something, builds some of their strength back up. You do see some refugees on the road heading back from the City of Chains. They're a good distance off from where you're all making landfall, and they don't seem to be paying much attention to you. They're headed north towards the outpost.
And which way are we going?
You're back on the contested lands map.
Yeah.
The gnome would tell you that you are headed here.
So north, and which way were they?
They're headed north down the road towards the outpost. You guys are on the beach right now. They don't seem to care that you're there.
Okay, but they're ahead of us.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
every once in a while on the road you see a group of people.
Okay.
About how far is the walk to the mountain?
It'd be a full day.
A full day?
Mm-hmm.
Have we gotten any rest on the boat as we moved?
Honestly, you probably should have. 15 miles in a day. Somewhere in there, you guys could have gotten a full rest.
And everybody else on the boat too? May not have been the most restful rest, but
yes, it would definitely not be a restful rest. So,
but it's not going to be like forced marching to a mountain.
No, it will not be.
Okay. My thought would be we get as close to the mountain as possible, and to make sure that the hobgoblins aren't following us.
Yeah.
We should probably just kill them, but if we should.
Point of inquiry.
Yeah.
Can I summon my owl?
Yes.
Awesome. He is now on fire.
What?
So at 6th level, I got to pick another spirit bond, and I'm taking fire as my spirit. Or no, light.
Jeez,
Light. He's
okay.
on light. He is light.
He's lit.
He's
No
on light.
two owls are not on.
He's like a little beam of sunshine shrouded in shadow. It's kind of weird.
Are you sure you want to do that here?
I can flip him back and forth, but that's how he comes out
Okay.
at first, and then I'll put him back to shadow.
And then I'll put him out.
Yep. All right, so you guys all unload. Oh man, that took no
Jeez.
time. And
No time.
it basically, as soon as everybody makes landfall, the hobgoblins turn one of the boats around and head right out to sea.
Yeah. Cool.
And
So how many people total? You probably have said this. How many people total do we have with
Like
us?
600.
you have 516 Kren nationals. That's
We are Moses.
You have a third of those guys are dwarves, and you have your NPCs back that you've rescued. You have 17 Goliaths, 23 goblins, 11 kobolds, 2 Dwergar.
Dude, if we're Moses, there's no way you're getting me to eat anything off the ground in the morning.
21 tieflings, 3 gnomes, and that's it. The Trikreen and the Deep Humans, as soon as you made landfall, they booked off into the wilderness.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
So you guys start marching, and you make it across the road. There are small groups of Dwergar. Most of them look like commoners along the way. Make perception checks for me.
I got it, guys.
Anybody else?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good, too. That's pretty good. That's not so good.
That's
Filbert.
just below average.
Filbert, you and Mav notice that the 2 Dwergar are trying to slip into one of the groups of the Dwergar refugees headed north.
Do we care?
No, I'd leave them.
But they're gonna
Wait,
tell people about
say
us.
that again?
The 2
That's
They-
only. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, the 2 Dwergar you guys saved on the boats, they're trying
Well-
to slip away into the groups of refugees that are coming from the City of Chains, headed for the
Save-
outpost.
Saved might be a little bit too lofty for them at this point, seeing
Yeah.
as how we basically pit fought them against the.
Yeah, I don't care.
Right, but they can tell people about us.
And
That's fine.
We
Spread
don't
our
have an
name.
Army coming after us.
Legendary.
what?
You know what? If someone can notice that, someone should just like wish them well on their way. Like this doesn't need to be like a secret. Just
Can I have Hazani sending to them
Yeah.
and just tell them to enjoy their life?
Bye.
Sure. You have Hazani sending to them, and she says, "Hey, we noticed what you're doing."
Make sure she spells out our name.
Wait, just let it play. Right now she's being super condescending. Let's let it go.
Yeah.
But you fought alongside of us. You came out victorious over the Drow. Live a good life. And don't forget, it was the Granit.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's
Awesome.
perfect.
And she gets back. Thanks? Question mark.
Awesome.
All right, so I will
I love it.
remove those guys from your... And hobgoblins are gone. All right, so your Moses crew continues its exodus. The kobolds and the goblins want to know what you're gonna do. What do we do next, boss? Bosses.
The next is a slow battle, which you may not like.
You'd be right. Is there anything we can do along the way?
We need to find food.
I can help with that.
Hazani can help with that a lot too after a rest. She can create
Okay.
food and water. So
For 45
I can
people.
also make good. I can make good berries.
Yeah, but we still have a
A
large.
lot of people.
You have a lot of
Um,
people, but you
Between-
probably got about 2 days worth of rations from the boat for everybody, spread out among everybody. And then
Okay.
you can offset some of that with about 100. If you ration the create food and water, you can get about 150 people a day out of that.
Okay.
Right. Plus multiple castings of good berry. I can make 40 good berries, which is a full day's nourishment for.
Okay. Plus
Um,
45 meals with the
Yep.
create food.
You will probably run out of food after, let's say, 5 days
okay.
with this group
How
of
far?
people.
How far is the gnome town?
He says it's only another day's. It's a day under the mountains.
Okay.
So he's like, but there's not a lot of food there.
Yeah. So
Are we going to the gnome place, or are we going out of the mountains up to the?
I thought we were
surface?
going. We're going to the gnome place at the very least to drop off the gnomes. They don't want to come with us. They want to go home.
Oh,
So at the very least, we're going to drop them off. But they said that they knew.
you trust the gnomes of the underworld?
I trust gnomes.
I trust
Surprisingly,
gnomes everywhere.
yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not. Are they deep gnomes?
Yeah, they're deep gnomes.
I mean, they haven't. They haven't. I don't have a problem with them. Surprisingly, I don't have a problem with deep gnomes.
You sound even surprised by that too. Like then I had to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah.
When we are betrayed by these deep gnomes, Thanic will no longer have that feeling.
Do I? Okay. What do I? I mean, what do I know about deep gnomes?
Well, they're
What do I know about deep gnomes in relation to other gnomes?
Does Matt feel okay with this situation?
it's not a terrible situation. They haven't steered you wrong so far. And there's just a couple of them, and they're taking an army to their village. So if they were going to betray you, this is a bad move.
Yeah.
If they're going to do this. But the Snibblefin are notorious for being greedy. I don't actually even know that much about them.
I don't really either.
Doesn't trust deep gnomes.
No, I do trust.
They're
them.
short-lived in comparison to other gnomes. They only live about 200 years. They generally believe that survival depends on avoiding entanglements with other creatures and not making enemies. So they're neutral in their alignment.
Okay.
They rarely
He does trust it.
They rarely wish others will, but will exploit things if it benefits them.
Yeah. So I don't. We're not. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are continuing on then. So you get to a place in a canyon, and this played out that you brought the army with. So this encampment that I'm about to show you of Dwergar are not going to stand a chance.
We're not even gonna we're just gonna walk right over them.
You are going to walk right over them, basically. I do want a d20 roll from each of you just to see how it goes.
Can we attempt to not kill them all?
You can.
I would like to attempt to not kill them all. Just say that we just want to pass. And they are welcome to spring their trap on the next group of people.
Okay.
I'd just like to point out that my roll is a critical.
Okay. So with the worst roll in there's a 7, which meh.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. You're welcome. But the other you got 2 19s and a 15 in there, which are really generally speaking pretty great rolls. So you just kind of march right up the path leading to their encampment and surround them with all of your people who are looking more soldiery, weapons forward, and let them know that they're surrounded. And they immediately realize that there are only 9 of them here. So they they don't want to fight. They surrender, and you just let them know you want to pass.
I would also like to ask them where the best sources of food are in the area.
They would just look very strangely at you and say, "You just came from it back towards the ocean."
No,
No. No, you're wrong.
that place is on fire now.
They're very confused. The gnome tells you that the entrance to the passage through the mountains is a secret. So we need to move these dwarves along or get rid of them. He would prefer you get rid of them, since Dwergar were the people that captured them in the first place.
Oh, fine. Fennec, what do you want to do?
Tell them to leave.
All right.
Tell them to leave.
They want to know if they can pack up their stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so you surround them for an
Quickly.
hour. They bust butt, break camp, and take off down the path. Once they're very far down the road, the three gnomes go over to the rock face behind where the big tent was. And see, I didn't know if you guys were going to come up here after dropping everybody off or not. So there's a possible encounter here that is now no longer is now running down the road. The pod gnome in the family begins to chant, and the rock face of the wall just disappears to reveal a 20-foot around tunnel that goes right under the mountains. Now he turns around and he says, everybody here needs to start plugging their ears. If you have wax, that will work. If not, dirt or cloth, anything to help you not hear.
Filbert puts mushrooms in his ears.
Philip already had mushrooms in his ears.
So
yeah,
that starts to spread around, and you watch people are tearing their clothes, and the kobolds think that's really funny, so now they're really ripping their clothes. You have to control them and tell them not to. No, that's not how this works. And so you see people wrapping their heads up with stuff and getting ready to cover their ears. And he says, "This is the entrance to the Wailing Caverns." And
that sounds terrifying.
he says, "It is, but we avoid some of the worst areas of the contested lands by going this way."
I'm pretty sure he was like, "It is, but we avoid by."
And so he leads your army down into the tunnels, and he also spreads the word around not to touch anything.
Too late.
No. Yes. Do you want to touch the black glowing crystals that are down here?
I mean, I really kind of do, but I know that I shouldn't. But I really want.
Mav is going to yell at Filbert not to do it, and slap his hand.
Okay.
I feel like if the kobolds can follow directions, so can you.
The kobolds are already touching it.
Well,
I turn and point.
And you turn and point, and there's one who's just like about to touch it. He puts his hands down, and he shakes his head no, and then he starts to yell at one of the other ones nearby. But basically, when Filbert or this kobold gets close to these crystals, there is a visage of an elven woman standing inside of this crystal, beckoning. It's a drow woman beckoning the person closer.
Oh. Let's avoid.
Thanak, push one of the kobolds into it.
No. No.
Okay. So, how much control do you want to exert on your forces to not touch the crystals?
A pretty extreme.
Okay. So you give some very serious orders and spread your group and other people that have shown themselves as trustworthy out among your forces here to not touch the crystals. And the three gnomes kind of spread out too, and basically says, they'll kill us all if you do. So don't. And everybody kind of is like, oh, well, we don't want to die, so let's not touch anything.
We don't want to get kill assault.
A day later, you come out on the other side of the mountains, and you go down into a small area, a bit of a valley, really, and it is surrounded by these crystals, and you can hear off in the distance, you can hear moaning and wailing, and it almost sounds like singing. Filbert, this sounds very Shadow Fae to you.
Ooh.
And you don't. It's very uncomfortable. These were places you did not go, where noises like this were heard. And you end up at a pretty large Snibbleflin village down here in this area of the Underdark. You are welcomed because you brought their family back. They're missing people, but this is a village of maybe 50 gnomes, and so the elder's grandmother looks at him and says, "They're not all staying, are they?" To which he replies, "No."
Gnome.
Obviously, they're not. And she says, "Good. Many of them are big." And she looks at the Goliaths, who are like 4 times their size.
Yeah.
And then they just smile. Yeah, we're big. Is there anything you'd like to do in this village?
Do they have anything they collect that's useful that we could trade for?
Not really. They basically live here because they're what is this place called? I forgot what I named this. Where is it? Shadow Crystal Vale. Because the Shadow Crystals protect them. Because people don't like coming here because they have to go past all of that's out there. All of these black crystals that were under the mountain, they're out in the fields too. But there's this valley where there's a decent space, so they live here. There's a fair amount of small animals and things that they catch to feed themselves, but for the most part, they don't. It's just a meager existence.
Okay. How long are we staying here?
That's entirely up to you guys.
I would think.
Do we need a rest?
I mean, from marching probably, but then rest and then continue on our way. Because
that's kind of what I was thinking.
We can't spend time here because we're going to deplete their resources. That's not good. We're going to deplete our own resources, so we just need to get going.
Plus ours, our food is going to be the bigger issue.
Yeah, I didn't think we should stay long. I just didn't know if we were going to rest here or not.
I think if we need to, just one night and then continue on in this fest.
Hey guys, do we want to let the Emperor know that we were successful and that we're going to breach on the other side? Do we want to give him a heads up on that so he can
Yeah, we there's do we have a contact person?
Well,
yeah, we have the 1-800 number for the Emperor.
Well, no, but we still have those. We still have those fax machines or whatever you want to call them.
You do not have access to the sending spell right now because Azani is using those spell slots for food.
Truth.
Okay, which is fine.
Yep. However, you do have the message pouches.
Do those go to a? I know it connected to the other groups, but was there a dispatch?
There was not.
Do you even want to worry about that right now? Because
the other groups hit the surface already, though.
Sure. Yeah, we can send a message to the other group.
Yeah.
And have them relay the information.
Yeah, because you want it to come back out on top and then make a break for the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, we look. There he is. Here's Andy. One of the things the gnome shows you is he pulls out a map of the area. Now, the one I'm going to show you is a bit more detailed than what he'd have, but it's the rough idea anyways. So, these are the contested lands. And as you guys are looking at that, Dal and Fizz start to point, and they're like, hey, we were marched through some of this. And they say they were marched first down this way. They were brought down not through a cave. They woke up in a fortress, and they were marched down miles of tunnels and stairs that were stoneworked and stonemasoned, and then it came out in the middle. And you guys have seen this. I described it before. The mountains are basically big, big cavern columns. They came out at the middle of a column and then walked a highway that spiraled down to a small quarry fortress, crossed a bridge, came down the river that way, and then were marched across this way.
Wow.
At least he thinks that's where he came from, because it's what makes sense with how far they traveled, and the other way's ocean. So they kind of help you put together that wherever they came through is up over in this.
Did they come through from Elenos, or did they come from a different area?
They were the team that was captured just outside of Elenos.
And how far of a travel is that?
I thought the gnome knew of another way up that was like secret or near here.
He knows of the way. He can lead you through the Shadow Crystal Veil to here pretty quickly.
Well, that would be closer to the lake. It's a little bit more easterly.
Yeah, from what you guys remember of the maps and the way it lined up, the lake is probably somewhere up above these mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really huge, actually. It's really, the lake's probably only that big.
Yeah, so I think the way that he knows, like, if he can get us there.
Yeah, he can get you to this ridge and get you down it pretty quickly. Probably with another day's march.
All right. I say we do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So he marches you guys the next day. Him and a few other gnomes go with him. Some of them have warriors. There's a handful of crude weapons in the village he's willing to part with to arm some of your people. They'll just make more, so they're not too terribly worried about it. They're not warriors, but they do hunt, and they can make a spear in a few days. And if they have to defend themselves, then they're better off surrendering.
I don't want to give him something like. Do they even? I mean, they can probably use gold down here.
Yeah, they would.
Right?
They would trade it.
Yeah, I'm going to give them gold for.
Yeah, we'll pay for
equipping our army.
Okay. Yeah, we'll pay for staying in the village and guiding us, and then.
What does he want? I'll ask him what's fair.
He says, well, you saved my wife and my son and I can't repay that. But
no, I want to pay him for what he's doing for us, for being able to stay and equip our soldiers. So,
well, they're not necessarily feeding you, so there's nothing there. You're just taking up space.
Yeah,
which is fine. Still want to pay for
he's helping us, though. I mean, like the main thing is he's helping us, and he's continuing to help us. So I just want to know what he thinks is fair for that.
He shakes his head. He says, I don't know, 50? Is that too much?
He gets 50.
Okay. Yeah. He's really excited, and he looks back at the gnomes in the village, and they're all smiling and nodding like he did a good job. He's like, okay, thumbs up.
Yeah.
I'll take 50 from my.
Cool.
Okay.
So the next day, you guys are taken that way. He takes you through a series of canyons and tunnels that weave in and out of themselves. He calls them the shadow veins. Up above, on the ridges up above, you see those crystals everywhere. And the further into the shadow veins you go, the more wailing you hear, and the louder it becomes. And it was hard to get through in the tunnels. Out here, it is extraordinary. You would all take psychic damage from this, but by the next day after you take a rest, you'd be okay. Because once you get out in closer to where the point of the arrow is, between those last two mountains there, the crystals start to fade, and it's just plains. So the Goliaths, the goblins, and the kobolds all go out and do some hunting, and they do manage to capture a few things. Everybody makes it back. They say they can still see the light from the City of Chains burning, And so there was a noticeable absence of large predators in the area, and they think that's probably why that they did that. So the gnome bids you farewell, and you guys he says there is a road you can follow if you head a bit south, or you can try and make it through along the edges of the mountain, but that's going to be a bit harder traveling path.
Let's take the road. We got a lot of people.
You do have a lot of people.
We do. My only concern about taking the roads is that where it's a lot more obvious. We are much more liable to run into
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're counting on like the location that we picked is kind of out of the way anyway. Like to come up.
I mean, sort of, but this is.
If it's going to come out towards the lake, there's not really anything near that lake anyway that anyone would be occupied in.
Yeah.
And I feel like at worst, we're going to run into a patrol, and it's going to be a patrol of like 10, 20, maybe, if it's a really big patrol, and we've got 512.
Well, it's more along the lines of they're going to see us long before we see them.
Yeah.
So they might stop, turn around, and then go alert an army. And we're not... like, there's a couple of us that are good and strong and ready for a fight, and then there's a whole bunch of us that are hurt and worn out. So if it really comes down to a fight, I'm not... Just because we have 600 people doesn't mean we're 600 people strong. I mean,
but even when we get up top anyway, we're not going to be able to kill a group this size.
No, I know. I know.
That's why I feel like it's just... I mean, we may as well take the safer path for people to be able to get up through.
All right. So you guys head for the road. That's what it sounds like. You do see a group. The road runs through right about here.
Can we the kobolds and the goblins?
Yeah.
They are like bored and looking for something to do, right?
Yes. And bored kobold and a bored goblin are
bad ideas.
Bad ideas.
Can we send them ahead to scout?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that way they can just run it out, run their energy out.
Like what you do with your dog.
Yes.
Children.
Yes, I know that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I love it.
You send them out ahead. They are more than happy to scout for you.
Go play.
They're actually, to some degree, I mean, they're still kobolds and goblins, so they get into fights with each other and they cause problems in the camp. And sometimes they're just gross. Like, kobolds have no sense of personal hygiene or space, so they just poop everywhere. And it's just some of it's really like not good. And other parts of it are I don't know, they're just troublesome. But the fact that you trust them is something. They get pretty excited about the fact that you trust them. So they run off and they do their job, and they come back and they report to you a very strange place up ahead in the road. And there is a man sitting in a chair there. There's a ring of chairs there. They described you a platform hanging from chains above a pit of lava. And there's a man there waiting for you.
How do they know he's waiting for us?
Because they're goblins and kobolds. Everybody's waiting for us.
Well,
they don't know any better.
The one of them says, "Well, he said to go get the Granitebacks."
Okay, see?
Yep, that's what I was fishing for. That's all I'm saying. Creepy.
All right. So how about
now?
Do we? I was just gonna say, should the 5 of us, go forward?
Well, the Goliaths are Granitebacks now too, so
it's true they are.
I think they're all the Granitebacks now. Do you want to tell Mike to roll initiative?
No, my question is just whether or not we want to leave the standing army and go ahead, or if we want to just bring it.
I would just bring the standing army with us.
All right.
Yeah, there's no down.
Okay. So, you guys head for the Standing Stone. It's called the Binding Stone. Is the name of the place. They'll
That
tell
sounds
you
great.
tell you that in a little bit. You get to this place and you get closer and you see that the roads become less like country roads and definitely more traveled. And the area becomes extraordinarily canyony and craggy. There's lava down in these canyons and crags. There's fissures with steam popping up out of them. But the road is very well kept. And it comes from multiple directions. And they converge in a bit of a crossroads of sorts. And right in the middle of this crossroads, the kobolds and goblins weren't wrong. It is a very well masoned platform suspended by chains with bridges from each road to the platform. There are 9 chairs circling a table in the middle of it. And sitting in the far end of these chairs, in one of these chairs, is one of the Dwergar you rescued.
Okay.
One of the 2 that broke off.
Yep.
That we basically said goodbye to via ascending.
Yep.
Okay.
I will ask if I can join him.
He motions and he says, by all means. He waves you over. Coming up out of one of the other roads, you see dozens of other Dwergar, all in full plate mail, big hammers. They look pretty ready for business, but they're not crossing out onto the platform. He asks for the leaders of Clan Graniteback to come forward.
All right.
Unfortunately, the leaders of Clan Graniteback are not with us.
Sure we are.
Nope.
No,
You know what he means.
Oren and Khalid are not with us.
Don't mince words.
Thanik would be pretty adamant about that.
Jeez, Mr. Literal over here.
He would say then, do you have authority to treat with me then? On behalf of your people.
Are you going to tell him no to that too?
I mean, we can hear what you have to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sit down at this table and with these chairs surrounding it, and he says, you did not know it, but you did my people a great service. I've been sent here on behalf of Prince Orthric to offer our aid in your endeavor.
What kind of aid are we talking?
What?
Down here or topside?
We will not go topside.
Yeah. So what kind of aid?
He says, well, I have a gift to give to you. And you watch as the people that you're with begin to part. Or not the people you're with, the Dwergar that he's with begin to part. And you see several dozen more dwarves come out of in between them. And you recognize them. It's your family.
Like all of them?
Like, as far as
Many
you
of
can
them.
tell, there's many of them. There's a few that aren't there.
Hold on.
Like, yeah. Slave
they-
ones, right?
They're
Were they?
your mom, Mav and Filbert's mom is there. Your parents are there, Othig. It's most of the ones that were working the mine that were missing.
Were they commissioned to be part of the forces that, like, were in that underground assault by chance?
What underground assault? Like, who are you talking
The one,
about?
the one
we
top
didn't-
side.
How we didn't?
Drow.
Never mind. We wouldn't have known that anyway. Well, actually, maybe we would have. Like, one of the groups probably would have said something to us by now.
No, they were the group that was taken. Dal and Fizz was taken by Driders. They were taken by Drow.
Yeah, I know there was not. It wasn't Drugar, but
These
all right.
guys are helping us because the Drow were commissioned on the other side. Filbert would just say that.
The guy sitting in the chair would smile, and he'd say, "For one so young, you're very, very astute."
I'm actually, and I'll just list off a number, an arbitrary number in the hundreds.
Sure. Yes. And he looks around, and your mom's like, "You're young again." And then he's like, his eyebrow pops up like, "What?" He doesn't.
So how do they get everyone?
Okay, so you ask him for the story. He says that he was actually marching to find you. He knew you were with the gnomes. He figured you were headed for the Vale, and that you'd be headed out of there. He figured that you were going east to find the invaders, he calls them, and to eliminate the serpents. So he thought he would meet you on the way, but what he met was several dozen yuan tea dragging all of these slaves off to market.
And he stopped them.
And he stopped them. And then they said they were Granitebacks. And then he realized he could benefit you even further.
Because he remembered how to spell our name.
In fact, that was the first question. How do you spell Graniteback?
He totally asked them.
Yeah.
Just because he wanted to make sure. That's so good.
So
That's
he
awesome.
he rolls his eyes and properly spells your name.
Filbert would ask, you said treaty with your people. What does that entail?
We're going to help you.
I would ask if the yuan tea had any papers for these dwarves. Or for these, dwarves.
He does say that several of them escaped. None of them had papers. None of the slain had papers.
So there's nothing showing that the Red Rocks were trying to sell them.
No.
What? So you intend to help us. What do you expect in return?
We're paying back a debt.
Oh. I'm not used to that.
And what is it that he
We're the
wants?
ones paying debts.
The last two Dwergar that survived that fight was this guy, General Bardat Nightcloak, in The Prince.
Oh.
And you bet on the Drow.
I'm just saying.
Thanic's sitting here with both of his feet in his mouth.
Mav's like,
No, to be perfectly honest, I would tell them they didn't owe us anything.
yeah.
You guys,
Like besides,
you fought your way out.
what else is he thinking about besides returning our family? Like, did he have something else in mind?
Well, he brought
Probably
50
helping us get there.
Dwergar warriors with him.
Let's
And a whole lot of arms and armor.
Okay, so this is where we either talk about splitting up again to go take care of our getting sidetracked some more.
Getting sidetracked with what?
Taking out some of the forces that came topside and wrecked everyone's lives.
Is that what he's offering? I don't think he's offering that.
That is
What is-
I think he's offering his forces for anything that we want.
Right.
Let's
And then the
ask him
closest thing.
what he's offering the forces for.
Okay.
He said it 3 times.
He kind of leans back and he's a little confused. And then he realizes you don't know. He's like, surface dwarves built a highway into our realm that the Drow and the Yuan Ti are using to invade your surface. We thought we'd help you close it.
Wonderful. Let's blow it up.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, all right.
Let's do it.
So they lead you from here up the river. And they do have scouts with them who take out several groups of Yuan Ti scouts. And they lead you to this mountain right here. And they lead you up onto a precipice that's overlooking the river valley below.
and suplex us off the edge. And that's where I'll leave you.
No. And they show you this place.
Oh man, that will never get old.
On the other side of the river, down below you, in this place, is a fortress that is flying red rock banners from the towers.
Boy!
It looks like it's not a real big fortress yet. It looks like they're quarrying out the area around them. And Dal and Fizz say that's it. That's where we were brought down.
So this is absolute confirmation that the Red Rocks are working with the Drow. Then
And
they were taken by the Drow, right?
yes, they were captured by Driders and Drow.
Yeah.
The Red Rocks are working with the Drow and the Yuan-Ti.
And Braddock would tell you that there's a major Yuan-Ti temple not far from here.
Want to desecrate that one too, guys?
Then we can be Kuatoan-Ti.
Get out. Get out.
You loved it. Yeah.
Added some additional suplex locations. All of those locations.
Oh my gosh! I was like, what is he doing?
Seriously.
Well, I would ask the prince. No, the prince isn't with us. It's
Correct.
the general.
You have General Braddock Nightcloak.
I would ask the general if his years of tacticianing have already developed the best way to breach this stronghold.
Well, he smiles and he looks back and he says, "You've got goblins. I've got barrels of smoke powder."
Boom time, baby.
Huh.
Don't tell the goblins what they are. Just tell them to put the flashy part on the barrel.
We literally have goblin sappers.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Then he smiles and he's like, "I'd hoped you wouldn't have a problem with that." And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Cool.
We stop with a hissing sound, just echoing across the canyon.
There's a ticking sound in the background. Tick, 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 tick. The timer's going down. Yep, that's them. Goblins.
My guy's so happy.
All right, so that's it. That's where we'll stop for tonight. Next week, you guys can blow up a castle.
Just because I don't want to forget this thought that I'm having.
Yeah.
They're goblins and kobolds, so it's not necessarily like I care about them, but they're under our protection.
It's true.
Not for long.
They're under our protection.
You're
like,
such a softie. It's so funny.
We gave them all a big long speech about how they would be.
They were ours, and they were under our protection,
and that we would treat them well.
Yes, we're going to treat them exactly how goblins and kobolds should be treated.
Phil, what happened to you?
I'm young again. I've never felt so alive.
I think you can make the offer that you made last time, which is basically like, who wants to do it? And see if there's takers. But
it's going to be the Goliaths.
we can talk about that later. The other thing that we should talk about is we can't absolutely level this place because we should probably try to find some information that might be lingering in here too.
We need some incriminating evidence.
Yeah, we do.
An overwhelming amount of incriminating evidence.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, we can't snap some photos.
Yeah.
Sure we can.
But we might be able to take some hostages if they're the right hostages. Documentation would be ideal, but...
Well, you guys have a wonderful night.
You too, Andy.
I will see you guys later.
Right. Guys.
Would we, hey Mike, this is a side note. Would we have learned who the Blood Queen actually is through all of this?
She's the head matron of the Drow Empire.
Okay.
Yep. She is the queen of the Drow.
That's terrifying.
When if we get in here, I'll settle for a red rock with a loose tongue as well too.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
We will.
All right.
All right. Night, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Night, everybody.